When I knew that coffee wasn't just coffee, that was at Coffee Fest in 2002, or no, I'm sorry, 2004. It was 2004. And I remember this because I remember seeing the magazine. There was a barista magazine that had the guys from Stumptown. And I was like, these guys kind of look like me. And, and they really have this sort of, this attitude about coffee. It's not just something, uh, a certain group drinks, like a certain type of people drink. It's actually something that you can enjoy. I remember walking by PT's Coffee, and they had a booth, and they were serving a natural process Harar. And I'm not the biggest fan of natural coffees in general, but when you go from tasting coffee that's completely just bold and rich and just, not nuanced, not like super flavorful and fruit forward, and taste a coffee like that, that's really well roasted and it was brewed in a clover, I literally thought the guy put blueberries in my cup. Because I turned around and I was like, "What did you do to this?" And he's like, "That's coffee," and those words, "That's coffee." Then I knew like, there's something to this. So I literally went back to Orlando and I started researching more and more. It's like, what does this all mean? Like, does it mean that the way I'm roasting coffee and I'm approaching coffee has been right all along? And of course, I learned that I wasn't, and that's okay. Because I needed to have that wake-up moment of realizing, like, hey, this is something that is there's so much beauty and so much nuance and flavor in good coffee that I made it my I guess let's say my life's journey into doing the best that I can with the product I get. So I had met Darko, who's my partner, and he's the owner of Cafe Streets. And when him and I got together for beers, we started talking about life and love and travel and all those things that I guess are not really that common for new people to talk about, but we bonded. We both kind of had this like what if kind of moment that like a lot of people do when they first are galvanized by one thing, and they're like, oh, I want to brew beer, do whiskey, coffee, I want to do my own food shop. And for me, obviously it's coffee and knowing how to do this and how to be involved in coffee, and with his passion for service and for design and for really knowing the coffee business, it just made sense. I think when most people, when they think about Chicago coffee, they think about like, oh, there's quite a bit of roasters here. There's a lot of people doing coffee. But to be honest with you, I disagree. I think that for the amount of people per capita as opposed to the amount of roasters, I think the ones that are here already established are doing a great job, but we all have room to grow, and we shouldn't look at each other as competitors, even though in the market we do compete, but we should look to compel restaurants, compel new relationships that are not thinking about coffee as it's a perennial fruit, as something that should taste delicious, and they just look at it as something that people should consume and blast and like cream sugar out the door. Like that, we should teach those people. We should compel those, and there's a lot of people like that. So I think there's a lot of room for growth here, and what I like is that there's diversity. I don't know of any one roaster that's like another. Like I don't see anyone copying another roaster's style or even branding, and I'm encouraged by that. I think that's awesome.